So this week it's gather round. It's going to be absolutely crazy, and a couple of clubs have released their jumpers of what they're going to wear. Most of the clubs haven't, so I want to look at some jumpers that I think clubs should wear, and the ones that they are wearing. Let's get into it. So before we do jump straight into it, please, if you are following me already and subscribed and stuff like that, just hit that notification bell so you get a notification whenever I release a video, and then you can watch it straight away. There's still about 49% of you guys who are subs. So out of 7,000, there's about 3,500 of you who are subbed but don't have notifications turned on. So if you're watching this, please turn on notifications and watch the video and share them around with other Collingwood supporters, because I absolutely love doing this, and there's a lot of big things coming. You saw I had John O'Brien. I've got some other stuff in the works. It is going to be an absolutely crazy year. We're only just getting started. But now, less chitter chatter, more gather round chitter chatter. Let's get into it. Okay, so like I said at the start, 18 teams, a handful have released the jumpers that they're wearing. Adelaide, Fremantle, the Giants, West Coast, St Kilda thus far. And no one really else has, as I'm recording this video. So what we're going to do is we're going to go club by club. The clubs that have already released their jumpers, we're not going to delve into what they should be wearing because they've already picked them, so I'm not going to pick them again. We might look at some stuff that I do like, but not for all of those clubs that have already got their jumpers. For the other clubs, I have gone ahead and pre-picked some of the jumpers that I think would be a very good fit, and they're all from footyjumpers.com. That is just an amazing site to see, you know, from the 1800s to what Collingwood were wearing in 92, whatever the hell it was, to what University were wearing before they got kicked out of the comp, and all this stuff. Absolutely incredible. This is no way affiliated by them, but I love the work that they do there. So let's start off with Adelaide. So Adelaide have got this jumper here. They wore it. I'm pretty sure they wore this one last year. It's a take on an old jumper that they used to wear, and I kind of like this, right? It's slick. Was it designed by someone? I followed the person who designed it. I can't remember who it was. But I like this one. Nice and slick. The crow looks really cool. I like that red eye. Not really much to say about this. It's already been picked. The second one we're going to look at is Brisbane. Now, we know Brisbane merged with Fitzroy. They merged with the Bears. So I've picked this jumper out, which is one of the OG Brisbane Bears jumpers. You can see down in that B, there's like a little koala there, because a bear it's a koala bear. And I love this. I love this. This was the early 90s. They changed the color to match with AFL. Sorry, not early 90s. It was 1989. So it's really cool, right? It's really cool. I absolutely adore this jumper. I think Fitzroy, Brisbane Bears, old Fremantle, old West Coast, all had really cool retro jumpers. Oh, not even retro jumpers, just really cool jumpers when they sort of started. That sort of 90s look and feel. Maybe I'm just nostalgic for the 90s. But if I was Brisbane, I'd be definitely wearing something like this. We know they wear their Fitzroy stuff quite a lot. I'd love to see some Brisbane Bears stuff come in. I don't know if they're allowed to. I don't know any of that sort of stuff. But this is what I would be wearing. So the next one we're going to look at is Carlton. Now, Carlton have been predominantly blue for their whole time. I've picked this one out. This was from a heritage round back in 2003. It's got that light yellow at the top, obviously that navy blue, and that cool CFC in like that specialized font. I think that was from like one of the first jumpers that they had. This was that was that sort of font that they had there, which I love, and I love that. I love the waves it has there. And the old school sort of, it looks like it's been laced up, because all the jumpers back then were pretty much vests and laced up. So that's the one I would wear for gather round if I was Carlton. Now, Collingwood would be stupid not to wear the swooping magpie for gather round. Everyone's wearing special jerseys, or not everyone. Most clubs are wearing special jerseys. So if Collingwood don't wear the swooping magpie, it's a huge opportunity lost, because it looked so good when we played with it at the preseason game against Richmond. It looked fantastic. But if I was Collingwood, I would either go for the barcode clash jersey that we wore, the preseason jersey that we wore in 1996, the turn of the century for the AFL, And that's like, look at the Magpie there, man. That Magpie is absolutely yoked. He is jacked. And I like how it's sort of torn on that left there. And yeah, the barcode. I did have one of these and I lost it. I don't know where it is. It's definitely not in my house anywhere. I don't know where it is. Maybe someone nicked it. I don't know. But this is one of my favorite jerseys just because it's so funny. Like, I think we only wore it for a couple of games, definitely 1 year or so. But I froth this jersey. And you know what? Put the collar on it as well. Because I love a collar on jerseys. We saw St Kilda do it. But another one that I would love them to wear, this one was in 1982 at the Escort Cup. This black and white one. No stripes, right? This is just a spit in the face to Port Adelaide for the prison bar jersey debate, because this is pretty much what they're wearing now. I would wear this. The black and the white V, I reckon it looks absolutely slick. It looks really cool. So that's something that I would wear if I was the Pies. Essendon. They haven't varied much since their black and red sash, or their black jumper and red sash. They go white or red, sometimes they go full red, sometimes they go grey or whatever. So I'm thinking, what would be a cool sort of heritage sort of thing to go with? When they entered the competition, and this is a sort of did you know, most teams wore a navy blue. So that's why Melbourne are navy blue, that's why, or sort of that bluish, that's why Carlton are navy blue, and how they distinguished from teams were they all wore different hats and different sock colours. But then in 1875, Essendon, off their navy blue, they put this red sash down the side, and that's what you get here. So I would love to see a navy blue red sash Essendon jumper for their sort of heritage round as a homage to the 1875 insane Essendon team. Next one is the Western Bulldogs. I think the Western Bulldogs have one of the nicest jerseys at the moment. Their jersey right now does look like a retro jersey, you know, with the blue and the red and the white stripe. This one here they wore for a heritage round in 2003. It's kind of like St Kilda's candy stripe one that we'll look at a little bit later. But I think this is really cool. They've already worn it for a heritage round back in 2003. But if they weren't wanting to do that because of St Kilda's candy stripe, I'd go with this beast, the 2005 Origin one. I think they wore this in a preseason game against Geelong. I think it's not the best jersey, but it's cool because it's so different. And I assume that line there is Origin Energy. So they probably couldn't do it. I don't think Origin is a sponsor for them. I still love that retro Bulldogs logo. I don't think Origin is a sponsor for them, so they probably couldn't do this. They probably could do something similar as a homage to it. I'm going to be saying homage a lot throughout this video. So I'll wear something like that as well, just to sort of spice it up a little bit. Now, the worst jersey for me, sorry if you guys are watching this and Fremantle fans, but is Fremantle's stealth jumper. I think Fremantle and the Gold Coast Suns, actually no, let me talk about the Gold Coast Suns when I get to the Gold Coast Suns. Fremantle really modernized their whole look, right? Their whole aesthetic. The docker the anchor with the, you know, the green, the red, the white, and the purple looked phenomenal. Some of their retro gear, like Street X, who else is sort of doing it? Any sort of retro gear that you see for Fremantle is absolutely beautiful. I think, you know, people try to, or companies and stuff try to modernize their sort of places and buildings and freaking brands and stuff too much. Like, a good example is, so I grew up in the 90s. 90s McDonald's looked something like this. And it was crazy, right? It was so fun. It was McDonald's and there's all these characters and it was really fun, right? And now McDonald's is just a corporate shill of what it used to look like when you go in. It's like, you know, like straight edges and it lost its fun, right? McDonald's lost its fun. And I know it's just a fast food sort of joint, but Fremantle lost its fun as well. Now this stealth jersey, the black with the three purple stripes, I still love that it's purple. I think it looks cool, but I would have brought back the Docker. I know they did a couple of years ago, they re-released that sort of Docker one and they did wear it. I would just wear that again and change their whole brand while they're at it, because for me anyway, this purple silver thing isn't working for me. Give me the green, give me the red, give me that lighter purple, and let's have some fun with it, man. Let's have some fun. So the next one is Geelong. Geelong, pretty easy, right? They've worn hoops pretty much since the start. But another team, like I've said before, that were in navy to begin with. This one they wore in 2005 for a Heritage Round 2005. It's just thicker white stripes, thinner navy blue stripes, and it's got like that little lacy look in the middle, kind of like what Carlton's ones that I showed you as well. So it's not really much to do with Geelong, but I think just a little bit of fun, and they do that well. I think they do. Sometimes they wear a collar and stuff. I think it's for like country football or something. But this is a little bit of fun. You can probably find one that has like a cat on it as well. Or maybe they can design one, something like that. But these ones I was really just looking at sort of heritage and what they used to wear. Gold Coast. Now, like Fremantle, I think, and this could be an entirely new video, Gold Coast need a rebrand. I don't know why their logo doesn't sit well with me. The colors kind of work, but I don't know. Their whole thing just needs a rebrand. I don't know why. That's just what I feel. But they're not even an old team. But anyway, what I would do for Gold Coast would be this 2011 away jersey. And if I remember correctly, this is the same jersey that they won their first game in when Carmichael Hunt kicked the winner against Richmond. It's a little bit of fun. You got that wave because it's like the Gold Coast and they're like the surfer dudes and stuff like that. So I would, have a little bit of fun and wear something like that for Gather Round. The Giants have released what they're wearing for Gather Round, and it's kind of like what are they calling it? Are they calling it stealth as well? I don't think they're calling it stealth as well. Oh, it's their Never Surrender jersey. It's all charcoal with the orange G. That's awesome. Like, I think that's really, I've said slick 1,000 times, but I think this is really slick and really cool. I know I said I didn't like the modern jerseys, but I think this really works. I actually think it looks better than any of their other jerseys, to be honest. Now, Hawthorn, they have a lot of jerseys, and I love that about Hawthorn. They've got a plethora of jerseys to sort of choose from. This one they wore in 2005 for a Heritage Round, which is really cool. It kind of reminds me of the Bulldogs, but I remember Shane Crawford was rocking this jersey at one point, I'm pretty sure in 2005. But if they didn't want to sort of go for that one, I really like this one. They wore this in Retro Round against us last season. That's really cool. I can't remember what that one is a remake of, but that's awesome. Like that jersey there screams to me, gather round, gather round, gather round. Or I think their heritage jumpers are sick. I love this. Screams to me Jai Newcomb, because I'm pretty sure I saw him wear this, something similar to this a couple years ago maybe. But I love this sort of the yellow V or the gold V and then the brown everywhere else. They're a winner. So Hawthorn always seem to knock it out the park. The next team is Melbourne, another one of those teams, wore navy blue at the start. There is a couple of jerseys that I really like from Melbourne. I like when they have their demon on them. This one they wore in 2009 for a cancer game. That's why they've got that yellow slash there. They got Old Mate Demon in the middle. I like how it was a predominantly white jersey as well with the red and the blue. But if you're not a fan of the predominantly white, they also wore this one in 2007 for another Cancer Clash game because the yellow trim. And it's a predominantly red jersey. And it's got that, like, the flame there that looks like an M. And I think that's really cool. To me, that one, more so than the white one, screams Gather Round. You can have a lot of fun with that one. So North Melbourne are next up. I love North Melbourne's old school kangaroo. I see this and I just think Mazda. So that ploy when they were with Mazda for so long is still, I don't even have a Mazda, but it's still ingrained into my head. I love this one. I love do you remember when they had their Argentinian jersey? It was like light blue and white. I'm pretty sure they wore it against us once, but that's just me going on a tangent. I really like this one, but if they wanted to get really into heritage, they could go with one of their first ones that they wore in 1925, which was just blue and then a white V. The V seems to be on everyone's jersey one way or another. Hawthorn have it, Melbourne had it, The South Melbourne had it as well, and there's iterations of it throughout probably every single other team. But I really like this one as well too, if North Melbourne want to get away from their stripes for one game. All right, now Sydney. Sydney can really tap into their South Melbourne history, and they do that well, right? They've got that white jersey, they've got the red triangle or whatever you want to sort of call it, like what we just saw with North Melbourne. So they do that well, and that looks fantastic. If they wanted to be absolutely silly with it though, this South Melbourne one from 1878, blue and white, like Geelong, like I said, every sort of team wore blue. It must have been the only pigment, dye pigment in the 1800s back then. But to distinguish from other teams that wore blue and white, Geelong pretty much, they chucked a red sash over the top of it, and you get this. It does look like a monstrosity. I don't know how it would work, but it looks really cool just to be like, what the hell is that? Doesn't look like Sydney at all. But Gather Round is just a little bit of fun, right? There's going to be 18 supporter bases up in Adelaide for a weekend. Have some fun with it and go with this one. Or I really do like this one from 1996. So it's got what Sydney used to wear, the Sydney Opera has at the top, and then it's got they're the South Melbourne stripes, right? The red and the white that sort of come down there. So it's a best of both worlds. I do like that one as well. Port Adelaide. Now, I know you're saying, oh, let Port Adelaide wear their prison bars. They started in their prison bars. But Port Adelaide, actually, if they weren't so stuck on that hill, they have so many awesome jerseys, more so than a lot of the other teams in the AFL. Now, this one they wore in 2007. It's got their old logo. I love that color. It's teal, right? I love that color. It looks so sick. And I love that sort of fist with the lightning bolt. That's just absolutely beautiful. Then they've got this one, which is really cool. Same teal, but it's got that lightning bolt as like a sash. I think that's that one and the other one previously really, again, scream Gather Round. And again, just having a little bit of fun with it. But if they wanted to go really, really heritage, they would go for any of these jumpers. 1870, put them in the light blue and white hoops. 1870, 1876. Again, 1877, they changed to all pink. This is Port Adelaide pre-AFL, right? They changed to all pink. 1884, magenta and blue. 1888, magenta and blue. Well, man, when did they... Oh, 1902 was the first prison bar. So it's not even really their heritage, is it? Chuck yourselves in all pink if you want to respect your heritage. So hopefully no Port Adelaide fans are watching that, because I'm going to get done in the comments for that. Richmond haven't strayed too far from their black jersey, yellow sash, except for this one in 1907, one of the first ones that they wore, black and yellow stripes, which is really cool. But I really like this one, just 1910, so all black, and then you've got a yellow sash over the top and a yellow horizontal down the middle of the stomach, and then that yellow collar. I think that looks really cool. Imagine some of their players in that. That's a really cool gather round. Or, you know, there's some in the preseason where they've got the tiger on there and stuff, but we've seen that a couple of times. Give us something new. Give us something new from 1910 if you want. So the last two ones have already been picked. St Kilda, I think they knocked it out the park. It's their candy stripe jersey. I think that looks absolutely fantastic, and the players look really good in it. And I think West Coast are probably... West Coast may be the winners of the best gather round jersey. I think they are. I love this old school eagle. They've got the old school AFL logo as well on there. I think they've just done so well with this, and that's probably the best jersey going into gather round for me. Look, gather round, like I said, is a lot of fun. So let's just have fun with it. Look, gather round is a gimmick, right? Let's just say that, right? It's a gimmick because it's everyone in one area, and Adelaide. It's going to be great for Adelaide, and we're going to have a lot of fun there. But let the teams have a little bit more fun. Turn gather round into a retro round, into a heritage round. You don't have to call it heritage round. They could even design gather round jerseys just for gather round, and people say, oh, it's a money grab, oh, it's that. But as fans, we absolutely eat it up. I know that I do. When Collingwood released that swooping jersey, I didn't need it, but I bought it because I'm like, that's sick. I need to have these in my collection. If I was a West Coast fan, I'd be getting that West Coast jersey. So I hope you enjoyed this video. It's something different for the channel, but we've got such a long layoff until our game on Sunday. I wanted to make something different for you guys, and there'll be some other different videos coming out in the break next week when we have that bye. But let me know your thoughts down below. There are more jerseys that you want to see the other teams wear. Which is your favorite Collingwood jersey? Which is your favorite jersey from everything that I've just showed you? Let me know your thoughts down below. But until then, like, comment, subscribe. Tell your family, tell your friends, tell your pets. And until next time, double shaggers. I'll swoop you later.